Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name's Victoria. If you would like to see how I change the shape of my face with makeup, please keep watching. So this video is going to be a series called How to Change the Shape of Your Face. This first video in the series is going to be covering the face, so contouring your face, which is what we're doing today. And then we're gonna do changing the shape of your lips, changing the shape of your eyes, and changing the shape of your eyebrows. So if you are interested in watching any of those videos, please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you can get a notification when I post my next video, so you won't miss one of my videos ever again. I wanted to make a disclaimer real quick. Makeup is something that gives me confidence. Makeup is something that makes me feel pretty. Not that I don't feel pretty without makeup, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a little extra superpower I feel like I have when I'm wearing it. And if that can help you guys feel better about yourselves or make you guys feel confident throughout your day, then I think you should go for it. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so to get started, I'm going to prime the face. I'm using the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer Radiance. It is one of my favorite primers right now. So I'll be putting that all over the face. Okay, so now that our face is primed, something that I like to do for a really snatched look is to use a cream contour underneath my foundation. I know, you might be saying,
Victoria, you're crazy. Why would you be putting contour underneath your foundation?
Because it works, that's why. So, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. This is in the light palette. You guys, save your money on this cream contour kit because they literally sell this at TJ Maxx for way cheaper than what it retails for. You're welcome. For a cream contour, I like to use a brush that looks like this. It's a foundation brush. I'm going to go in with this deeper medium shade here. So I'm going to start right where my ear flap is. I don't know what this is called, don't judge me. So I'm gonna call it an ear flap today because that's how educated we are. So I'm going to put it here in a curved motion. Most people do it in a straight line. I used to do that, but after a lot of research, I found that this is the best technique for me. But what you really want to do here is look at your face. See, what do I want to change about it? I want my cheekbones to look higher and sharper. So that's why I'm going in a curved motion. So for those of you who have really high cheekbones and they're very pronounced, but you're not a fan of them and you want to kind of make them look smaller, you can go a little bit higher up. And I don't know why you do that because you're blessed, by the way, but you could go higher up and try to mimic that line and make your cheekbones look a little bit smaller in that way. But for me, I like those high cheekbones. That's my jam, so that's what I'm going for. So here we go. All right, so now that we've done our cheeks, I'm going to do my forehead. So if you want to shrink your forehead, then I feel terrible for saying this, but if you would like your forehead to look smaller, I like to build a shadow and outline here on this part of my forehead and do the same thing on the other side because symmetry. Make sure that your contour on your forehead is on your hairline, by the way, because we don't want it to be noticeable that this is not what our face looks like. And it's a dead giveaway when your hairline is a different color than your face. We're looking a little silly, but bear with me here. Okay, so next I'm going to do the chin. I'm not trying to have a crimson chin here. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about with the crimson chin. So I want a chiseled jawline. I want a slender looking chin, okay? So for my jawline, literally with the tip of the brush, not with the side of the brush, the tip of the brush, I am going to draw a straight line right underneath my jaw. And we're gonna create a shadow imitating a chiseled jawline. So make sure you get enough product on your brush and chisel that out. Okay, so we did our jaw. Now we're moving on to our chin. So I want that straight, angular chin, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my face. I'm going to address where I would like my shadows to lay. Because you're obviously going to have a different shape of face than I am, unless we're doppelgangers. If so, I would love to meet you, and I would love to know if I have a twin out there. So anyways, I would like my chin to angle like this a little bit more. So I'm going to take my brush, again with the tip of it, not the edges, and I'm going to go from where I want my chin to end all the way up here. Now I feel like I look like one of those puppets. Those string puppets like Pinocchio. Alright, so with this fine-tipped brush, I'm going to go back into the contour shade, which is the dark shade like I showed you from earlier. And I am going to do my nose. You can do this in different ways. It's up to you. So I already have a pretty small nose as it is, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to narrow it down even further. So what you want to do, you got to take your pinpoint brush like this. This is Eco Tools. Go back into your contour shade. And you're not going to go on the side of your nose. You're going to go on the very top of your nose. So I'm going to start here. Make this line as straight as possible, by the way. But be sure to bring this line all the way down, straight down. Don't angle it once you get to the tip of your nose. Just bring it straight down like this. We're gonna put a little curve where you want your nose to look like it's ending. The next thing we're gonna do is our lips. So if you have little pathetic white girl lips like me, you can go under your lip with the same brush, same contour shade, and draw a line. So I just created a shadow under my lips to make them look just a little plumpier, a little juicier, a little fuller, and no surgery. I'll be doing another video later in this series just on lips. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell for those notifications so you can see that video. All right, going back into this palette, I'm going to go in with the lighter side of the palette. So I'm going to go in just because of my skin tone. I mostly have pink tones and I don't like that, so I'm gonna balance it out with this yellow tone. So after cleaning the brush that we did with the contour, you can use that. If you don't feel like cleaning it, you can just use a concealer brush. Either is fine. I'll just do a concealer brush for the sake of this video. So I'm going to go in with the yellow shade, and remember, look at your face, address what you want to change. The lighter shade is going to be what we are wanting to enhance. We're wanting this to come out. So the darker shades, we wanted that to come in. Those are our shadows. This is what we want to poke out. This is what we want to be noticed. This is where we point out our favorite features of our face. So for me, I am going to draw a little bit of a triangle to make sure that my cheekbones are popping. I see the highest point of my cheekbone is here. Okay, we're gonna draw a line, and then I'm going to kind of just puff a little bit of this out here, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Do you see how I kind of made a little point here? This is where I want my cheeks to pop. So now with the nose, we're gonna make an exclamation point. All right, and I make a V right here as well. And then also, I make a little dot right here to make my highlight pop a little bit more later. So going in with the tip of the brush for our lips, we're gonna go on our Cupid's bow on each side of our nose. It's gonna look like we have snot coming out of our nose for a second, but don't worry, that'll go away. So there's our snot. Okay, that's really gross. Now going back in with our fine-tipped brush with the contour shade, we're gonna put this shade right in the middle to create a shadow. And this is gonna make our lips look a little bit bigger as well. All right, guys, and that is the final look. Thank you so much. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm going to be using the foundation by NARS. It is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and it is in the shade L2 Mont Blanc. So I'm going to put some foundation on my brush, and we're gonna buff out all this craziness on our face. So I like to start at the top of my forehead just because it's easier to push down any like hairs that you have on your face or any imperfections. So our foundation is on, we buffed out all the craziness on our face. It is now blended into our skin. We can still see the remnants of what we created. Now I'm going to go in with a powder and further create that contoured look that I'm going for. Okay, so we've got our brows on. All right, now I'm gonna go in with the NARS concealer in Vanilla. And I'm going to go in and perfect any blemishes that I see. This is for my ladies with problems with their under eyes. So this is the IT Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. So I just take this on my finger. You literally need like this much. You literally need like nothing, okay? And so keep in mind that this is going to be a little warmer of a shade. This is going to cancel out the dark under eye. So put it underneath here. Oops. And we're just gonna pat it and blend it in. Oh, oops, I should be using my ring finger because we don't want wrinkles. Just gonna put the rest over here to cancel out the darkness of my lids. So now that you have that on, if you're like me, this is way too warm for your skin tone. It's very obviously not my skin tone. So I'm gonna go back in with the NARS and Vanilla, and I'm going to go on top of that concealer that I just put on and brighten that up just a bit. I'm not gonna put a whole lot on just because I don't want it to start to cake, but we're just gonna do just enough so that we can brighten up that warmth we have going on, because we want the under eye to be as bright as our futures. Go back in with the beauty sponge and buff it out. Much better. Now I'm going to set my concealer with the Hourglass setting powder, and I am going to go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to set everything that I don't want to crease. I don't want my under eyes to crease. I don't want the concealer on my lids to crease. I don't want smile lines. I don't want forehead lines, okay? So you get the point. I'm gonna put powder anywhere that I think could potentially crease. So under my eye, I normally put an excess amount under my eye to catch any fallout in my eyeshadow looks, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to buff it out normally. You can use this setting brush by Real Techniques, and we're gonna put it on our smile lines. Smile lines who? We don't know her. And also, I don't know about y'all, but I crease a lot underneath my lip and between my chin, so I also put a little bit of powder there too. All right, and now moving on to the forehead. Normally, this is where I would go in and do my eyeshadow, but for the sake of this video, I am going to go straight in with the powder and contour the rest of my face. So now I'm gonna bronze my face with just a warm bronzer. This is the Baked Bronzer from Palladio. I got this from Sally's, and it's just a warm shade. I've hit pan. I've had this forever, and I need another warm bronzer. So if any of you guys have a good recommendation for a good warm bronzer, let me know, because I am looking for a good one. With the warm bronzer, what we want to do here is, this isn't the only bronzer we're using. We're going to use a warm shade and we're going to use a cooler tone. So with the warm tone, I'm going to use a larger surface area of my cheek. I'm going to create an illusion of thinner cheeks and higher cheekbones. This is a blush brush. A big brush, whatever brush works, honestly. Just make sure it's a bigger brush than what you use for the next shade that we're going to do. And I'm going to do the same technique that we did the last time when we contoured our cheeks. I'm going to go in, and in a swooping motion, create this illusion. Now I'm gonna go in, just bronze anywhere that I want to have a little more of a tan. So I want a little bit of a sun-kissed look here, and over here on my forehead. I'm really running out of this stuff. I need to get more bronzer so badly. Time out, I have a palette. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. This is the BH Cosmetics Contour and Blush 2. I've had this for a while and I forgot I had it, quite frankly. And I am going to go in with this warm shade over here. I'm gonna mix these two colors. You almost wanna make a C with your bronzer. We're going to bronze again with the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. This is just the original one. I'm gonna take another Real Technique brush, and this is the contour brush. I'm gonna dip this into the bronzer, and we're gonna go just above that line that we've created with the first bronzer. This is where we want to go a little bit higher and be a little bit more precise. That's why we want a little smaller of a brush here. So we're gonna do the same thing, we're just doing it a little bit higher. Swooping motions. What we're doing here is building a gradient. See how it smoothly transitions down my face? And then we're gonna do the same thing up here if we feel like we need a little more. I think we do. And then back into the jawline, straight line. You can go back in with that precise brush that we use for the cream contour, and we can use that on our powder as well. Alright, now I'm going to take a beauty sponge and I'm going to buff this out just because I'm going to blend everything else out with my brush, but this gets a little bit messy if you blend it away with a big fluffy brush. So, fair warning, beauty blenders or beauty sponges do best with that. Now I'm going to add blush to my face. I'm going to be using NARS in the shade Orgasm. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to take a blush brush. This is by Eco Tools, and I am going to do the same thing with the bronzer, just a little bit higher than the bronzer. So normally what I used to do was I would smile and put it on the apples of my cheeks. But that doesn't make sense because we're not always smiling, right? Like if you have an RBF, like what are you gonna do if you're not smiling? You're just gonna have blush on and that's it. So we're gonna try to make it look like we're nice people. We're gonna smile a little bit and we're gonna put blush on without smiling. So we're gonna start here. Try your best to start here instead of starting here because that's how we want the pigment to go. My bronzer ends here, so I'm going to start the blush right here and swoop. Now, before I put my highlight on, I'm going to blend everything with a big fluffy brush, except for my nose. Don't blend your nose with a big fluffy brush, okay? So we're gonna go in circular motions, blend what we just did with the bronzer and the blush, melt those together, prevent any harsh lines. All right, and now we can highlight. So I'm going to go in with my favorite highlighter right now. This is the Jacqueline Highlighter in the shade Bomb because it is bomb. I highly recommend it. It's one of those highlighters that don't look patchy when you put it on. It's like, it's effortless. It gives you this beautiful glow. You're radiating from the inside and out, and it's just beautiful. I highly recommend it. So you really don't need that much. This is the Morphe M501. I put it a little higher than most people just because I want my cheekbones to look higher. I'm gonna put it where my cheekbone kind of has a shelf here, okay? That's the best way I can explain that. So instead of putting it on the side of my cheeks, I'm putting it on top of my cheeks. All right, and we're gonna do a straight line. And I also like to bring it out here and put some highlight here. I love to go overboard on highlight just because it's what I do best. All right, and we're kind of recreating the same effect we did on our nose. We did the explanation point. Actually, I have a lot of pigment here, so I'm gonna put that on my cheeks first. It's almost like the same triangle we created in the beginning with the cream contour. And then I'm gonna take whatever's left on this brush, literally no powder at all because this is highly pigmented. I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead here where the sun naturally hits your face. You naturally glow without making your forehead look super greasy, if that makes sense. Okay, and now we're glowing and we're happy. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera real quick, put some eyes and lips on, and we'll call it a look. Okay. All right, guys, that completes the look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about how to contour your face and changing the shape of your face with makeup, then please like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, comment, tell me you stopped by, and I will see you guys next time. XOXO.
She likes chocolate covered strawberries and wine. She likes notes that say I love you all the time. Roses at your feet, baby girl be mine. Baby girl be mine.